This is online journalism. My name is Xavier with an X. Today we're going to talk about what does the camera see? What does the camera see? Yep, this is the first one in a series on how to use your camera and how to film. This is lesson number 6 and it's time to begin. Action! Okay, nowadays to film is like to breathe. Why? Because of these, small things called smartphones. They film and you carry them every day. So, what does the camera see? Okay, this is the basic. The first cameras, as some of you know, were a little box with a little hole, and that was all, no lens. But that's the basic, and it's the same thing than today. So let me present the first item here in our class. Ta-da! This is the center of a toilet paper. You can find this in your home, or you can use also the center of the kitchen towel. It's the same, longer, but it's exactly the same. I want you to get one of these, clean, obviously, and we're going to use this as our camera for this exercise, okay? You put this on your eye and you see a limited amount of things, okay? You see a limited amount of things. Obviously, you only see what's in here and you don't see anything over here. But that's exactly what your camera does. Your camera has a zoom, so you can but with this you have to go back or go near the object. But in any case, it's exactly the same. But I need you to know, I need you to be aware that only the thing that is in here is what's going to be recorded. Only that. Everything here, down here, up, it's not going to be recorded. So you have to see or be aware what the camera sees, okay? Now, so point number 1, get this little tube and use it as your exercise camera for today, okay? So, it's a pity that cameras don't work like our eyes. Our eyes are connected to our brain, that's why. So we come into a room and we see basically everything. But in that seeing or watching or observing the room, we're doing a lot of things. We're doing a general shot, we're doing details, we're going around, we're walking, we're circling, we're having things in a different perspective as we walk. Okay? So, let's go to the second thing I want to show you today. This is a little object here. This little thing here that you're taking a look at in the front is something you might be watching in your everyday life. Remember, we're using this. So if we take a look from the back or from the front, and this object is very similar, we won't know exactly what it is. Oh, you might guess what it is, but really you don't know what it is until you take a look to the side, okay? Oh, I know what it is. Let me see this one. Oh, it's very similar. Yeah, in this case, both sides are kind of the same. Well, I'm going to turn around the object, but in the exercise, you are going to be the ones that be turning around, okay? To observe from every way, sides, back, front. Okay, so let's turn it around and we see that it's a little fish. a wooden fish. So our friend, the wooden fish, is very different from the front than from the side, okay? So we see it from the side, oh yeah, it's a fish. And we see it from the front, it's kind of like just this little skinny thing. And if we see it from the back, very similar to the front. And in this case, the side is also similar, looking on the other way. Okay? So, number one or number two lesson, or number two steps today is you have to go around your object, and the only thing that gets into the camera is what's here. So you go around the object with your little tube here, tube tool, and you take a look at that, okay? So now let's change object. And we have my little Volkswagen. I own one of these in real life, and it's the same example. You take your little tube and you watch it. Take a look from the front, from the back, from the sides. And it does change. I mean, this is what it looks from the front, okay? And this is what it looks from the side. Totally different. I mean, if you only take a look from the front, you don't know exactly the shape and feeling of the object. From the back and from the side. Well, let me open the little doors here. And in this case, if we open the doors, you see that this side is different from this side that has doors, okay? And also in the back and in the front. So, what is one of the main lessons today? That you have to go around the things that you are filming, or the main objects of your reportage, graphic work, graphic report, okay? Number one, and the only thing that you record is the things you see and go in here. Number two, you have to go around, Okay, let's put another one. This friend, oh, let's open the shot. Now we have this little figure they use in art class, and oh my God, it's naked. This is a family program, so let's wait a minute. Let's put some things here so we don't have problem with. Okay, perfect. Well, as I was saying, what do you do in real life? Because what I'm telling you today is nothing really clever. It's what you do every day. You always, in your normal life, go around things to observe, okay? In this example, let's say that a nice, interesting person comes to your school, to your university, to your room, to your workplace, and he or she walks into the room. What do? Well, first of all, you just observe in a general way, okay? As we did with the car with the fish. You observe in a general way. Second, you take a look at him or her in the front. And then, to get an absolute and total perspective, you take a look from the side. Okay? That's the way to observe somebody. And then, let me take care of this side here. We need two here. Then you take a look from the back. Okay? And then from the other side. So this is the normal thing you do when you find somebody attractive, worthwhile looking at. It's the same for any sex. And probably what you do is, as I said before, take a general look, then kind of go around while you're talking at that person, or just in a party or in the workplace. And after you get like general view and the front, the back, the sides, probably you go for details. You go to see in more detail her face or his face, his yellow trousers, or even if you like them or not. You go to details, things that capture your attention, okay? Could be something in the hand, like a handbag, or a big watch, or pink eyeglasses, or a crazy hairdo, okay? So it's the way you do it in real life. Believe me, it's the way you do it in real life. So, you first observe, you go around, and then you go to details that capture your attention, for good or bad. I mean, if he has a big hole in his shoe, you're gonna take a look at his shoe and say, it's a terrible guy. He went to work with a hole in his shoe. Or you will say, oh, cool, he went with a hole in his shoe. Anyway, this is the way that you normally observe people. But it's not the way that you normally record. Maybe because you haven't kind of detected that that's the way you do it. But that's the way you do it. Okay, let's change this. Wait a minute. Okay, this is a sculpture my son Vincent made for a college assignment. And it's a small sculpture, and it will show you what I want you to do, okay? So remember, we're working with our little camera, only what you see here, okay? So, let's say you go to a park where there's a sculpture, and the park has a little fountain and a little, I don't know, cobblestone around the statue, maybe some trees, some flowers, and some kids are playing around there. Okay, so let's do what we did with our friend. First, we will like establishing shot. Okay, so you take your little primitive camera and go back in a way you get the statue in his surroundings. Okay, in its surroundings. So you will have the statue that you can clearly see, and some flowers, and the kids playing, and some trees in the background, and grass. Okay, so that general shot will give you an idea of where is the statue located. It's the same like in the movie when it's beginning in the city of New York, and you see a big shot of the buildings, you know, and then you begin to see the guy in the street and everything that happens to the actors. Or if you want to have a movie of a tropical paradise like Costa Rica, then you see the beaches and the palm trees and the beautiful girls in the beach. And then you'll see all the different things that happen in the movie. Okay, the same here. So first we have that establishing shot, and that's the name. It's an establishing shot, or ES. Okay, so the establishing shot of the statue. Then, what was step number 2? We go around. So we go around the statue with our little primitive camera and take a look of the statue. We go up. If there's a building or there's a stairs or something, try to go up, looking from a high ground, change all the perspective, or we can go low. It will also change the perspective going low. Okay, so you go around. Since I can't go around because there's a table here, I'm going to turn it around. So this is one perspective, but if you go around here, now you see the little cane. Now you see the face of this old guy. Okay, this is in front. This is to the other side. Now you see the little finger, probably. Yep. Okay, now you see the old man. Looks more like an old man from here. And now you see his coat or whatever you call it. And so you observe from all sides. Okay, so after that, what was the thing I told you before that we did when we finished like going around? Details. And again, we go to a detail. In this case, let's go to his head. So that's a nice shot, a detail. Okay, so first, the only thing that will be recorded is the thing that is in the little hole. Number 2, wide shot, establishing shot. You go around with your little toilet paper and then you go to details. More than one. It can be his face, his finger, his cane, his shoes, whatever you think it's interesting. Okay? Well, now, remember that while you're doing this, you have to take into consideration that you have to be relaxed. You have to be relaxed. Okay? Relaxed. You have to have time. You cannot do it in a hurry. If you're an expert, you can do this in 5-10 minutes. But you are beginning. Okay? Suppose that you're beginning in this job. So you have to have time. Take your time. Go to the park. Observe. Live the sight. Try to capture the feeling in your brain before you capture it in your camera. Okay? You have to feel it. And for that, you need time. Don't go hungry because it's a creative process. You have to be relaxed. You have to be in good shape. Can't be tired with 3 days without sleep and hungry. No, sir. You have to go with all your, let's say, all the conditions that interfere with your brain satisfied, okay? So your brain has to be 100% on this. Creative process is something that you cannot do if you're hungry, okay? So go, and if you get hungry very, very frequently, take a sandwich, okay? So you have to have time. You don't have to have any problems interfering, phone calls, and no. And I recommend to go alone, because if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend that is nagging, hey, let's go, hey, this will take time. And if the other guy is not doing anything, I mean, it's terrible. Somebody, hey, let's go, hey, you already got 15 minutes. You're going to take more than 15 minutes if you do it right, if you just live it, okay? Unless your boyfriend or girlfriend are in the same mood of of doing the same exercise. Okay? Well, there are other types of shots that we're not going to cover in this lesson that that also we do, and those are the reaction shots, or sometimes they call them cutaways, because it gives you the possibility to cut, but that's another lesson. And it's basically the life around the main issue we're doing. So it'll be the kids playing around. Could be a gardener fixing the flowers around the statue. Could be a yoga class in the grass nearby. Could be a guy jogging. A couple of ladies with their kids in the carriage. So all that feeling of life around the statue is part also. Okay, so it's time to homework. Well, I already said some things you're going to do for the homework. By the way, this is a little bell that's been in my family for more than 100 years. It's a beautiful, supposed to be used by my ancestors to call the maid at lunch and supper. Very, very beautiful. Okay. So now you are imagining the homework, which basically is this, I have told you. Go to the park, and you can bring a camera, or you can use your cellular phone, your smartphone. But in this exercise, you cannot move, you cannot tilt up and down, you cannot pan sideways, or you cannot walk and film at the same time, okay? That is not allowed in this exercise. You just go to a specific place, like if you were working with a tripod, and you record 10 seconds, okay? And remember exactly to have what you need in your frame is the thing that is going to be recorded, okay? Is the image you're going to be recording. So you'll go, take establishing shot, you go around the statue or the object of your example, or of your exercise, choose the best angles, shoot for 10 seconds each without moving. Then if you go on to a high ground, 10 seconds, to go beneath, under, and then some close-ups of the face, of the finger, whatever you're doing. And then at the end, you can do also some reaction shots to give the feeling. I want you to get an idea of life around this object of our, let's say, graphic report. Okay? So that's the homework. I hope you enjoyed the class. And well, I think there's a lot of things we have to keep on talking, but that's it for today. Okay? Have a good time.